How's it, guys? Welcome to Chain Reaction. Today speaking to Jakes and Lil
G.
Lil G. We have an interesting one today for the guys, and it's the first time on a Superbike. So the first thing is the little jitters we get when we climb on a monster like this. Tell us a little bit more. What happens?
Man, it's extremely daunting and scary when you're getting it on for the first time. You need to understand, and I'll say get comfortable. So on this bike, you can see I'm relatively comfortable.
Yeah,
I can maneuver it with my legs, and the comfortability factor is the most important part before even thinking of switching it on and taking it for a ride. Make sure you can stand it, make sure you can maneuver it. The bigger the bike, the heavier it is. Yeah. So just get comfortable with it first before you even think of switching it on and going for a ride.
100%.
Or learning to ride.
Yeah, 100%. It's all about the balance, right? When you get onto the seat, you need to know where to sit. So maybe we can start there and you can tell us a bit more on that.
Yeah, so like I'm sitting.
Okay.
It's comfortable for me when I get on the bike. Because when I'm on the bike, my legs need to be able to move. I can touch the ground. If I need to move the bike, I can move it, no problem. I don't have to struggle with it. The bike is not overwhelming in terms of its weight and balance. So I can control it in this position. Okay. Obviously, the taller you are, you can sit a little bit back. Shorter you are, a little bit more forward until you get going and then find your comfortable riding position.
100%. So that's a balancing side of things. Then I see you have a bar in front of you with a lot of things going on.
Yes.
One of them is a clutch.
Is that what it is?
I think so. And then you have a brake, a front brake, obviously, and then throttle control. So maybe take us through this and tell us how those McGaffers work.
Well, Jaco, I've got no clue about any of these McGaffers, but what I can tell you is you're absolutely right. Clutch is the most important when starting out and riding your first bike. You know, you're excited, you're ready to go, you want to learn, you know, it's exciting. But understand where your clutch's friction point is and play around with that. You don't need to give it throttle. Just let the bike roll on its own power, understanding the friction points. So once you get comfortable knowing where your clutch is going to take and where it's going to engage and disengage and that, and once you're comfortable with that in a parking area that's safe, then you can start adding a little bit of throttle, you know, because once it's engaged, you do need to give a little bit of throttle. Guys, please don't grab it and strangle it like an X. Be gentle, just give it a little bit, just so that you can get that momentum going and then pull in your clutch and slow it down again. And just keep practicing that fundamentals before attempting other things.
100%. And another thing on that side is the front brake, which is dangerous, guys. So just don't grab and pull it as hard as you can, because you will learn a life lesson. You will go down. Your front wheel will wash out, because what will happen is if you don't have ABS, when you pull it too hard, your front wheel will lock up and the bike will slide out from underneath out of you.
Yeah, especially at slow speeds.
True. And it's the thing is, people don't understand the relationship with the front brake and the back brake and braking the bike at a certain point, right? But that is something you will learn as you gain more experience and ride. The best way to learn to ride is to ride, guys. It's as simple as that. So talking about the clutch and brakes and that kind of thing.
So most importantly, like Jakes is saying, when you're doing slow speed maneuvers in the parking lot and that, it's always best to just use the foot brake. You know, it gives you better control of the bike. You've got nothing gripping the front wheel in terms of brakes. So you can turn and control it slowly through the rear brake until you get more comfortable. You know, even guys that do wheelies rely on the back brake.
Yeah, true. It's to balance the bike in the end of the day, right?
Do wheelies on your first day.
Well, try not to. Because if you aren't gentle enough on the throttle, it's going to burn you out to do this, want to or not, you know?
Yeah, you can get seriously injured. You can drag this, you know, whiskey throttle, you lose control, you panic, the bike drags you into anything that's going to stop it, be it a car, house, fence, bush. Whiskey throttle it and get it wrong, and it's got enough power, you could actually 12 o'clock this bike.
100%. And talking about controlling the bike, is there's specs in every side of the bike. So you obviously don't just steer a bike, you control the bike with your body and that kind of things. So tell us about how do you use the pegs at the side?
So starting out, my pegs were always in the middle of my feet because it's comfortable, but it's also dangerous. And the reason for that being dangerous is when you're learning to ride and stuff, your foot can easily tap your back plate. And then the bike does something and you're not ready or equipped to handle it. So always move your feet a bit back, ride on the balls of your foot, squeeze the bike with your legs, and that will give you more controllability over the bike. And as you practice this and get used to it, and as we'll show you as we progress in our riding experiences, how much more beneficial it is to ride like this. If you're hanging your feet like this on a track day, you can ask a couple of guys, feet too low, they lean that bike into a nice angle, they got a good lean, toe catches the ground, game over. Broken ankles, damaged bike, big balls.
100%, and it's expensive, you know, fairings and that, it's expensive to replace and paint and all that kind of things. And there's an important thing you just said. You're riding the bike, you're not steering the bike. With a car, you steer it because you're sitting in it. A bike, you sit on top of it, you ride the bike, right?
Yeah, your core is what you use to control the bike. The more experience you gain and the better you get at riding.
100%. And that's basically that, guys. I must thank you guys for watching our video today. Please
like, subscribe, please subscribe. When you subscribe, you'll get notifications to everything that's coming up in the future. New videos, new content, new comments. We love engaging with everybody. Thank you to everybody out who's engaged so far. Bikes are a different thing. Hit the bell icon, you'll get those notifications, and share. You know, if you're getting into riding, you want to learn how to ride, you want to share with us your experiences, please do that. And you can do that through our community. So thanks guys, have a good one.
Thanks guys, be safe, see you in the next one.